point, they're just rocking. But if they don't find the right combination of position 4 and position 5 that works for them, it can get a little bit hectic.
Alrighty, well, the draft is now live, so let's jump straight into the first series of the day and find out exactly what heroes we're going to be seeing playing up against each other in this one. It's funny you mentioned DJ and Jabs. I feel like on the other side, on Team Spirit, the combo I'm most focused on most of the time is probably Toronto, Tokyo, and Yotaro. Like, these two guys, they can be both quite greedy, and then they need to really kind of balance the greed with the playmaking and find that right balance, because sometimes it gets too greedy, sometimes it gets not quite there with their picks on Team Spirit, especially when I look at the cores. So yeah, I mean, FNATIC, I'm looking at the supports. Team Spirit, I'm looking at the cores.
Yeah, and that means that Collapse is the real MVP of Team Spirit, because that guy, he makes plays with nothing. This guy's at the bottom of the barrel trying to scrape whatever he can, while his two fat cores are just running around eating all the creeps on the map.
Like Yotaro and Toronto, Tokyo, like the resplendent knights coming into battle with their finely polished, expensive armor and their capes, and then Collapse is just a dude running around with a kitchen shank, stabbing people in the kidneys and doing just as much work.
The way I see it is, if there's a player that you have to aim bans at, and that if he gets some hero that's not even the meta he's gonna rock you with, that player has a lot of talent and a lot of potential overall.
10 seconds remaining.
Either that or he has a one hero pool, which can be problematic, but still has a lot of potential. And Collapse is exactly that on Team Spirit, so I agree completely. SD and Bane.
My God. Okay, you know what, guys? I was going to say, before we went on about this, if FNATIC get SD in this series, they're going to win this game. Or whatever game that they pick Shadow Demon in. Do you want to know why?
10 seconds remaining.
Please do enlighten us.
Should I elaborate? Okay, well, if SD gets picked, then that means Mr. Jabs is going to play Shadow Demon. That means we're going to get a DJ playmaking hero. And that is FNATIC's winning recipe. That's my theory here. Because Jabs, in my opinion, plays so much better with these spell casting, sit back, position, just use your abilities when you can, versus DJ, who is much better at that just go in, right? Cast the best possible skills you can and just find the angle to disrupt your opponent.
That's interesting. I mean, what have we seen Jabs on so far? I mean, we saw him play Pudge. That was certainly very fun.
Can't really remember. He's been playing overall in different tournaments. They've been playing Rubik's and Phoenix's, Miranas, and my dog wants to join the party, if you can hear her.
Tuscan, Clockwork as well, two of his most played of the patch so far. Yeah, so it seems to be a mix. He plays some of these sit back and cast your spells, some of these big brawling heroes, but Fibin, you saying you prefer it when Jabs is on one of these spell casting heroes.
Did my dog just summon Lycan, by the way? Is that what happened?
I heard that, yeah.
Dogs can predict the future, whenever there's a flood, dogs will go to high ground, so he predicted the Lycan and it's just oh, hey, buddy.
I guess it's more I prefer DJ to be on someone who can just go in more than Jabs playing just a spellcasting chill back hero. Because I know Jabs can play everything, but DJ just excels. He was playing Omni Knight yesterday on DJ. And I'm thinking to myself, that's literally the biggest waste
of talent ever
of a player.
Yeah.
Right? You saw his Pangolier, and then the next game we give him Omni Knight.
Yep.
It's just so tragic.
5 seconds remaining.
I know exactly what you mean. I've been there, saw that, experienced some of the teams with such situations. The good old Lich and Ancient Apparition patch, never forget it. Meanwhile, we have a Gyro here, so it deals a little bit with Lycan and all the summons, I suppose. There's a lot of mixed damage coming from you in the mid-game, but Bane is gonna suffer. This Lycan is just yesterday we were talking about it. It's just a perfect pick to just send all your little pesky summons on that Bane, and he dies instantly. There was a game in which Thunderhide and two wolves two-shotted Shadow Demon last night. Lycans, I mean, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, that's poor Bane. He's all about a single target, and then Lycan Zoo just comes running at him nightmare this, you stupid purple.
It's a lot of damage. The Dominator creep with the Overlord Dominator. It's like 80
so
damage.
remaining.
And then you get the aura from the Vladimirs too. It's just insane.
And the minus
seconds
armor that you
remaining.
get from
Yeah.
yourself, from the teammates, it's just ridiculous.
on a
They do
solar
ban out the
crest, why
tide.
not?
Yeah,
Yeah.
They do ban out the tide. So that's probably one of the best heroes versus Lycan, in my opinion. As you get one item literally and you just stand in front of your tower. Every time he assaults, you just anchor smash and that's it. So very difficult to play against that as Lycan in the laning stage and afterwards.
So
10 seconds
I mean, the
remaining.
reason for Lycan is quite obvious why they took it. And Gyrocopter, like they're trying to
5 seconds
do what they
remaining.
can to be able to deal with the summons and the fights without having to focus on too much. With the flat cannon, obviously, it's a very strong lane. I think we're going to be seeing a lot more of this, like Bane Gyrocopter or like Bane Monkey King kind of lanes. Do you think they should have picked Monkey instead though over Gyro? Like we saw yesterday. Who was it that picked the Gyrocopter? It was Thunder Predator, right? They had an opportunity to take Monkey, but they took the Gyro instead. And I don't feel like it had the same amount of impact on Monkey would have.
I feel like Team Spirit played Gyro, right? And did well with him. So maybe
Oh,
it's
yeah,
just
they
some,
did.
some comfort zone.
FNATIC's turn.
Mhm,
Radiant
right.
team
That's it.
pick.
Storm banned out by FNATIC instantly into the Batrider because Team Spirit was the one that owned with Storm. If you remember, they had that Storm Bloodseeker game. And,
Yup.
yeah, and it was obvious. If you want Bat, maybe a Queen of Pain is an option now for Team Spirit. They don't
10
really have a lot of
seconds
catch on
remaining.
FNATIC. We've seen some Linas, but I wouldn't like to play Lina versus Lycan
5
too.
seconds
It's a
remaining.
bit scary. But however, if you do pick Lina on the side of Team Spirit and you finalize with fourth pick Mars versus Lycan,
Radiant
no,
team pick.
doesn't sound too bad. Yeah, there we go, Queen of Pain. And I still wouldn't mind Mars here. Maybe a bit early though.
How do you feel about the Queen of Pain change and the heals? For me, that one was like so random.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, I completely agree. No, not sure. Even in the
5
last couple of
seconds
games that I watched Queen of Pain versus Bat, it just feels that Bat has more impact after the laning stage anyway. And you can switch things up. You can put Bat somewhere else. By the way, how does the matchup Lycan versus Queen of Pain go now? It used to be pretty solid when he had a lot of healing and when he would get that headdress and just out CS anyone on mid. But right now, I feel like could be a little painful.
It might still be okay.
FNATIC's turn to pick.
What I'm thinking now that you mentioned about Lycan going mid possibly is Raven has always been known to be a huge Lycan player.
Mhm.
So I'm wondering if this might ever be the first Lycan carry that we'll see. Although everyone has pretty much been favoring it in the position 3 role, right? It kind of does the same thing. It just doesn't make sense, to be honest, to have like a position 1 Lycan when all he's really doing is buffing your team.
This has to be a Mars ban from FNATIC, right? Like now with the Dark Willow pickup.
Yeah,
I
they
feel-
should.
yeah,
They
I-
should.
up for it.
Remaining.
And Fnatic just going for the clear counter picks here with the
FNATIC's turn
Abaddon.
to ban.
The shield is amazing against the Queen of Pain Shadow Strike.
Radiant team
Very
ban.
good against Dark Willow.
There it is.
Everything Dark Willow wants to do just gets ruined by the Purge.
By Mars. Yep, Abaddon is just versus Bane and Dark Willow and Queen of Pain, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's very, very solid.
You're mentioning
10
about the Queen of Pain
seconds
changes
remaining.
earlier, and I like them just because thematically it works really well. You know,
5
she's supposed to love
seconds
pain. She's a sadist. Now she heals from the pain. Perfect. Big fan.
Wow. You know a lot about that, don't you?
I've done my research.
FNATIC's turn to ban.
No one in my area, sadly. Sniper
tell us
banned
more.
out from
Tell
Team
us
Spirit.
more,
No,
Nomad.
let's move on. Don't talk about the draft. Sniper banned out, interestingly. I mean, who's scared of a sniper? Team Spirit, apparently. But what I actually do like about Team Spirit's draft this time is this feels like them. It feels like they are actually playing the heroes they want to play now,
Yeah.
which is really good. But I mean, obviously, they've still got the Bane, the heroes, which are very popular right now. But it's got their stamp on it. And
10
that's what I was
seconds
kind of,
remaining.
you know, they didn't do badly yesterday, obviously.
FNATIC's
but
turn to pick.
It still hasn't felt like they've been super comfortable,
No,
and now this
it
just feels
feels
comfort
good.
zone for them.
Yeah,
yeah.
completely. I agree. Just a lot of damage coming from Team Spirit overall. You can brawl constantly. You don't even when you look at these heroes you truly don't need items, right? Like you can just brawl from having level 6 on everyone,
10 seconds
which is nice.
remaining.
But they really have to be careful about
5
how
seconds
they
remaining.
go into the laning stage, especially now with the
Choose
Medusa
your hero.
pickup. So how will they lane this? Fnatic has a lot of options,
Lycan
really.
off, right?
Offlane
Yep.
Lycan.
Teth Lycan, Raven Medusa, Bat
Hmm.
mid. Okay. So, DJ Abaddon, is this something which you consider to be brawly enough to give Fnatic, set them up for a good game, Theben?
No stuns.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Just why do teams hate stuns? Like,
you know
look
what?
at this.
I like it. I like it in the end. I think what's gonna happen is DJ's gonna follow Chun around the map, and Chun's just gonna go crazy. He doesn't really have any. You don't really have any way to stop this Batrider, especially with the aphotic shield backing him up. It's gonna give Raven plenty of space. Yatoro needs to be way too active early on to be able to slow down this Medusa. And Team Spirit do have their draft though. They want to just be able to run at you eventually and have that like kind of hard carry in the late game that will win you, like if it gets to that point, and that is the Gyrocopter. But I think Fnatic should be slightly favored here.
Okay. Fnatic for Theben then. Lizard, which way are you going?
I would go with Fnatic just for the skill discrepancy, but I'll go with Team Spirit instead. None of these teams they didn't draft a single stun. I'm just angry at looking at both of these drafts, and I feel Queen of Pain should do fairly okay versus Bat, and eventually they'll take over the game. But I dislike both of the drafts really.
I mean, I think this game's kind of going to turn into a brawl at some point in this game with the Gyro and the Medusa just kind of chilling out. So when you look at the 4 versus 4, I kind of massively prefer Team Spirit. As you say, they've got stuns, they've got catch, they've got escape to get away from this Batrider. So even if he does have a good time at mid, I'm not sure, even with the Aphotic Shield, he's actually going to be able to get on top of the heroes to actually deal the damage. So yeah, I think I'm going to go with Team Spirit as well for this one. But let's find out what our casters have to say about this one. We've got the duo of Beacop and Mo Farah.
Thank you very much, Nomad. As we get a lot of spamming of the all chat lines real quick. Always my favorite part. Sure, it's yours too, Mo. But Gyro again. I know you've had some words about this Gyro, Mo, and I'm not sure they've been the most positive words about this hero.
I don't know. I don't mind Gyro. I think it's a decent hero. What did I say bad? Oh, they just killed a wolf, by the way. On
Game's over.
with the Bane. So
I
easy
think you said
XP.
last time you weren't sold on the Gyro. At least not
It was
yet.
just in that particular instance. That's all.
Oh, okay. We'll wipe the slate clean then. You're back to liking Gyro.
I don't mind Gyro. I'm slightly favouring Spirit in this game. I would say. Let me tell you a thing about Team Spirit. So obviously, people talk about Collapse a lot. This guy, historically, has not really been a Pango player, right? Like, when he played in DTCL a few weeks back, like he was this bronze tier Pango player when they picked it in an official. So I'd be interested to see whether it's something that he's been practicing. When they get another wolf, easy.
Ooh.
More XP. Thank you very much.
The battle begins.
Yeah, because I think it could be like Collapse. Yeah, again, he's still bronzed here on this hero. Like you can see at the top, right?
You can. You have the gold Bane and the gold Queen of Pain.
So I'm assuming this is something that they've been picking a lot in scrims and things, because Collapse plays like a lot of these like Magnuses and Mars and things and these axes and whatever, but Pango was never really a hero of his. So it's nice to see him expanding the hero pool a little bit.
Is there a pro player that plays a level 30 hero?
I don't know. I mean, it must be pretty difficult because of all the scrims and things as well. Like, you can get to level 30, but not easy. You have to play a lot of Dota.
Yeah, I had somebody that was a level 30, I believe, techies in my game or something like that, or like a level 30 Weaver in my game recently. One of the two.
Level 30 Weaver, such a weird one. I want to mention about this bot lane quickly. We have this lane again with the Shadow Demon and the Lycan where they have the surround potential. So, Spirit have to be a little bit careful. I think Miposhka on the Bane in particular especially at the level 3 mark. I think with the level 2 wolves when they get a bit stronger.
Yeah, Miposhka's already had to deal with this Lycan once before, and it was not really the most fun time for him. He was playing, what, Ancient Apparition that last time. They do try to snare around Yatoro, but they can't do so.
And death on this Lycan as well. Also go for the Helm of Dawn rush like with straight away. He only has the Quelling Blade. So that Helm of Iron Will going to be coming out really quick. Really strong in this lane in particular as well, having the extra armor to work with. He does have to be careful with his wolves though against the flat cannon, obviously.
And that'll be the source of Miposhka's CS, as he's got himself 4 wolves already. Nightmare comes out on the jabs, and he'll avoid the homing missile with the disruption. Does set him up to potentially take some more damage though from Yatoro and get run down. But just don't have the damage at the moment to get really anything of substance in a finishing blow just yet.
This reminds me of playing Beastmaster against Gyro. Like, you have to be so careful about your summons. And it's the same with Enigma and things as well. You can't just let them die. Otherwise, you're giving away so much XP in the laning stage. Mid, Toronto Tokyo doing really well so far. I think definitely a little bit quap favoured. The panel were talking about this before.
And for the moment, you have, like you said, Toronto Tokyo leading, and Chuen not really doing too amazing. At least we haven't really seen a breakout performance from him just yet. When he was, when he had his time with Aster, that was when I was really excited to potentially see him kind of break out. And then, of course,
Toronto
Tokyo grabbing both water runes.
He's going to TP, I think. Yeah, that's such a nice play. He didn't want to even run back. He's just carrying on hitting. And as soon as the Firefly comes out, then he TPs. About wasting the Batrider's resources. Oh, this Bat's in trouble now as well.
Ooh, getting low. Shadow Strike keeping him low for the moment. Ticks down to 27. And we'll tick all the way down to 14. We'll get the refill on the bottle. Only a 2/3 refill with that bounty rune, though. When it's just, we have seen him struggle quite a bit. And he came in, obviously, Season 2 for FNATIC. And this team has shown promise at time. We've seen him show what we've been expecting from him at times, but it's not really the performances I think I'm used to seeing from him when he was playing for Aster.
Yeah, they've had an okay tournament so far, though. Mirror actually took the top ward. Oh, okay, DJ was there as well. So all 4 supports. Oh, no, 3 supports coming to the mid lane, sorry. Bane not making the rotation. But laning stage going so well at the moment for Team Spirit. If you look at the difference in the net worth between mid lane. Pretty good going.
200 gold.
God, I hate Pango. Are they going to go for the surround here?
They're going to try and get in front of Yatoro. They're doing a lot of damage. They've got the Nightmare, and now the homing missile going out onto jabs, but first blood will be secured for this Shadow Demon as they take out Yatoro. Bottom lane, and that's going to be the advantage for FNATIC.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, a little bit. I don't know. It feels like maybe potentially a little bit sloppy, pushing up, quite far in the lane, but good catch by Jabs. I think having that Helm of Dawn on the Lycan as well going to be such a big difference maker in the lane. Like the kill threat is all of a sudden completely different. Right? Like the dynamic changes.
They're going to go Nightmare homing missile once again on the Death.
Like
Black Cannon right clicks, and Death taking a lot of damage, but he's right here near his tier 1 tower.
He's so tanky though. This is the Helm of Iron Will that we were talking about before. Like all of a sudden he's just got 13 armor sitting under his tier 1. How are you supposed to kill this guy without burst damage? It doesn't work, right? And he's getting ever so close to the Helm of Dawn. Is this the first like an offlane game we've seen as well with a ranged core? I can't remember because obviously you can't really build the Ags. Maybe Undying did it yesterday. I can't remember.
What was it? It was Monkey King that was the other one because he was getting bit. And I'm not sure. I don't remember off the top of my head what the other one was as well.
Because I'm pretty sure if you DJ picks up the Invis top. Jabs might be in trouble here.
And taking a lot of damage. He was nightmared before. Toronto Tokyo trying to get this kill into Jabs, and are they going to dive this? Shadow Realm strike and a Sonic Wave coming through from Toronto Tokyo to get that kill into Jabs.
Yeah, just get the kill. 100% worth it. The Spat's not level 6 yet, so doesn't really have the chase potential. I mean, did they see the stacks? Oh, I guess it's only a 1 stack. Naposhka gonna come and leech some of the XP though, I'd assume.
Step up some. Oh.
I think he's trying to
okay.
block the Ancients. Yeah, it looks like he is.
Is that in the square?
Yeah, it is. It's like right in the top right.
You see that one under the FNATIC logo? The number
Where?
1. Just right under the logo, the top bar.
Oh, I haven't seen it yet.
I believe that
Oh, yeah,
stands
that's the
for
fans, isn't it?
I think
Yeah.
it's the pennant owners. I'd like to think that one fan is having the greatest time of his life right
Hell
now.
yeah. What? Naposhka's just running around the jungle. It's just
Stealing
leeching
experience.
XP.
Yeah,
He's
he
having a
doesn't
great
care if he
time.
dies.
Rolling
They
Thunder.
go after the Medusa. Raven in some trouble. They've got the Bramble Maze down with the Rolling Thunder being used by Collapse. They get a quick kill there on a DJ Raven. Can't really do much to retort on that. But they have brought over Jabs and Chuan to try and make something happen. And, oh man, they're going to rip through this Bat Rider. Collapse gets the kill.
Yeah, such a nice rotation. They understand that when there's a Deucer and a Bat Rider on the same team, they're going to be making stacks. Like, there's a Shadow Demon making stacks. It's going to be happening. So they come in really early and contest. They don't have vision down at the moment to see it, but even so,
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
good start so far for Spirit, and this Bat Rider is falling really far behind. I mean, we've seen one difficult Bat Rider performance this tournament already from, I think it was Frank, right? Well, that was from the off lane. I don't think we've seen a really difficult Bat Rider mid performance yet. This might be the first one.
Radiant's bottom tower is
And
under
not
attack.
having
Radiant structures are
a great
fortified.
time on this bat. Chip vest drop for the Radiant side. Team Spirit with a 2k lead over Fnatic at the moment. EJ just trying to make some more stacks here.
Are scanning.
Doesn't
What's
get that
the-
stack obviously in the ancient camp.
I assume Yatoro's doing the stats build again on Gyrocopter as well, where he's not
Radiant's
leveling
bottom
Rocket
tower
Barrage.
is
He's
under
got 1
attack.
in stats. He's gotten 0-1-4-1.
Yeah, okay.
Dire's
So
top
he's
tower
skipping the
is
Rocket
Radiant's
Barrage again.
bottom tower has fallen.
Which I don't mind too much. I think we've seen this build a lot from him. I think he's played it at least once more this tournament. It might be twice.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Raven,
Dire's structures
despite
are fortified.
getting disrupted up towards top, he is sitting top of the net worth.
Yeah, I mean, the only difference in the net worth really is the mid laner, right? It's just that this Bat Rider's falling behind a little bit. The Deuce is still farming fine, the Lycan's still farming fine, and I think there's a lot of pressure on Death here to make like things happen on the map, right? Because this Bat Rider needs a little bit of space here to be able to catch back up into the game again. And like Theben was saying earlier, obviously the game plan originally for Fnatic would have been, you know, try and play around this Bat Rider, but because he's having a really difficult time, they can't really do that. So we'll have to see how they adapt.
Toronto, Tokyo, Mira, as well as Maposhka sitting mid for the moment. Mira just level 5, and they do have that Fiend's Grip available as Maposhka hits that level 6. And yeah, there it is. Mira also now getting that 6. So they have the ults ready on the supports. Gonna make a move towards bottom. This could result in potentially multiple kills.
Nice play by
Lay
Jabs,
down the
though.
Bramble Maze, and Jabs is gonna be the one who eats the smoke so far. Cursed Crown, the lockdown. Ooh, disruption. All right, avoiding the Bedouin for a moment, but still ending up dead. That solo target Bedouin is a lot of damage, and they'll get the kill into Jabs. Mir getting credit for it.
Yeah, and I think Gyrocopter was taking an ancient stack there as well in the top jungle, so He's going to be starting to build that net worth up. Oh, he didn't quite finish it off. Okay.
And he's gotten into that early Chrysalis, going into the Ags. Picks up that Blade of Alacrity first.
Good grip.
They've got the Fiend's Grip over mid. Gwen in trouble, and they'll throw in the Terrorize. They've got the Sonic Wave. Jab's trying to help out, but they get the kill here onto the Bat Rider. Mira moving forward, the sweep out on a Raven. There's not much he can do to help at the moment. Swashbuckle coming through on the DJ. DJ does have the borrowed time ready to go, and they'll Rolling Thunder into the Stone Gaze of Raven, which will be the ejection cord that FNATIC used to try and get out of this one. But, well, Collapse is still right in their face. He'll pop the borrowed time on DJ. I want to get a Nightmare to maybe get a +1. But now they've kind of caught Miposhka in between the tier 1 tier 2 with this disruption, but no follow-up of the Bat Rider TPing back into the fight. Collapse Swashbuckle going out, and these 4 heroes from the side of Team Spirit will start to retreat. Really, it's not 4, it's 5 with Gyro kind of entering the fray at the end.
Yeah, they really want to try and get this mid-tier 1 to open up the map, right? But FNATIC offering stiff resistance. It's a really difficult thing to push into, these double defensive supports just sat behind a Medusa. Because the Medusa's not an easy kill in herself, right? But
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant are scanning.
what's Mira got coming on the courier? I feel like this Willow has a lot of net worth. But... okay, because they're going for the Yules first, by the looks of it. Could be a 4 staff, I guess, but not that great this game.
Vlad's finished for the Lycan, almost has the Helm of the Overlord. No borrowed time available for DJ. Ooh, actually, just came up. So as it comes up, it ends up popping.
I think the shard on the Willow is going to be the big point for the Abaddon to be sad about this game, though, right? When you try and purge it off and it still spawns the brambles around. Little jabs.
Bought kind of by himself, rolling thunder. That hits the creeps, and Gwen will come in trying to help out. This Bat Rider can't do anything to save the life of Jabs. Also bring in Raven. Mystic Snake. Good Nightmare dodge from Miposhka, but he's still getting chased here by Wolves. Looking like he might die, but he gets the brain sap off. With the call down comes in from Yatoro. They get the kill to death. They're going to take out two on the side of FNATIC. And now Stone Gaze, but the Brambles, they're down. It's not going to matter.
Just about having them out of there. Oh no, Miposhka, it's like yesterday all over again.
Still getting run down by Wolves.
It's just 2 days in a row of just getting chased by Lycan Wolves. Poor guy. Good fight though for Team Spirit. The fact they use the Lycan ult and get a not a great fight for FNATIC. It's going to be a lot of downtime here where they're not very strong, so which is why you see Spirit just running at them again.
Is down again, making this a hard escape for the Bat Rider, but he's got that Firefly to work with and can kind of skirt his way around the maze. And it might be cheating in some mazes, but there it's using your advantages.
Do you have mazes in the US? Do they do those?
Where they like south or wherever?
No, where you have like the patterns cut into the maze and they like create a maze and stuff out of like, I don't know, like in the fields and things.
Out of the maze.
Yeah. And they'll like make a pattern based on like it would be like a face of somebody or something if you looked at it from above.
Yeah, it's not. They don't have that near me. Maybe upstate, but
right, okay.
Not close.
I don't know. I can't remember where I was going with that. I'll be honest, but
a lot of those mazes are more in the south. Get yourself going into that maze, sir. You may get lost.
I can see the Keikos in the chat already. B-Cop, don't set them off.
I won't. Just testing them. Testing them. Miposhka.
They have grip available here.
Gwen. Getting Fiend's gripped. Miposhka gonna hold them. They have the swashbuckle and the call down, and Toronto Tokyo's gonna get the kill there. Team Spirit have moved around this map really well.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And they've got a 2k lead. It's not like this crazy lead, as despite the fact that it feels like FNATIC have kind of played on the back foot quite often, they still have Raven farming quite well. And yeah, Jabs is going to get caught. He disrupts himself, but it only extends the inevitable, which is his death to Collapse.
So he's gone Diffusal play first on Pango as well. Obviously pretty good against the Deuce, but I think it's also good against the other cores as well. Gives them a little bit more catch, which is nice, with the Diffusal active. And Lincoln's first on Quap as well. Okay. I mean, we saw this yesterday from Toronto Tokyo when he was playing the Storm, right, against the Batrider. When they have the limited catch on for FNATIC, you pick up that Lincoln's and... Oh, DJ!
Sonic Wave coming through DJ. He's going to end up dead as that borrowed time was still on cooldown for another 36 seconds. The Bramble Maze keeps
they're not killing
this
him.
death-liking close.
He has this help with the Overlord, but we haven't really seen anything from this like in this game.
Yeah. And by close, I mean close to the rest of his team and not close to Toronto Tokyo.
Add another to the tally.
He'll never escape that maze, and proving to be very difficult right there.
We're even pushing up a little bit here by himself. Okay, no, he's just using the Mantis. Fair enough. I thought they might have been able to punish him there.
The FNATIC numbers jumped up to 2. Two people
both
holding the
fans.
banners. Yeah.
I mean, they're quite
both
rare now,
here.
though, right?
I have a couple.
Can you, I don't think you can still buy them, though, can you?
I think only in the market,
Okay.
maybe. Where like you can only buy the old ones. I'm not sure. I have
So
like
Team Spirit-
5 or 6.
Gonna look to take this top tier 2 here. Gyrocopter going for that SMY after the Ags, which has now been finished, so that status resist obviously really good against the lasso. I think pretty good against the Stone Gaze as well is key when it gets finished off.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Fine. Looking see if anybody was in the tree's bottom while the top lane is getting taken.
Yeah, Team Spirit are gonna defend this though. Well, okay, they're gonna try. I forgot about the zoo. Never mind.
Has fallen.
Ancient Thunderhide gets what Ancient Thunderhide wants, and that's going to be the tier 2 bottom.
Did FNATIC see that ward before?
Which one?
The one that was just next to the outpost spot. Maybe they assumed that the Spirit would deny it or something.
Lasso coming through onto Collapse. They have the Stone Gaze to go with it.
It's such a good combo of spells. The lasso into the Stone Gaze. Obviously, it pulls you the way, and then you can get in position to get the Stone Gaze off in the right, just facing in the right direction.
And quite honestly, the cooldowns, especially once you've got Lasso level 3, which is 110 seconds, which is a bit on the longer side, it's not really the longest cooldowns. Stone Gaze is only 90 seconds. That doesn't really feel that long.
Yeah, Stone Gaze is such an incredible ability. The fact it lasts so long as well, you could... Just this AoE control from a carry in a team fight is pretty rare to find. DJ. Oh, he does mazes. This guy
He's
knows.
a big maze person. I don't think I've ever done a maze.
Dire are
Like a
scanning.
legit maze.
Oh, say that again.
I don't think I've ever done a maze.
You've never done a maze? Beacon.
Like a big one. Yeah. Roche getting taken very quickly. And it will
tell you
be Yatoro getting it.
Yeah, a big pick off as well. They understand without the lasso and the Stone Gaze, pretty easy to just walk into the pit. This gyro does so much physical damage. I'll tell you a story about a maze peak up. I went on holiday to France once, and they had like loads of these characters like dressed up and things, but we couldn't speak French, so they would like try and scare you in the maze, and we'd be like, "Oh, hi," like we don't speak French. They didn't really understand.
Were they just coming up to you and be like, "Oh, omelette du fromage"?
Oh,
You'd be
that's-
like, "Oh my god, I can't believe it."
I don't think French people say omelette du fromage every time.
It's a reference to Dexter's Laboratory, little TV show that I used to watch as a kid.
Oh, hang on, Batrider.
And
Oh,
they
he has
found-
DJ set behind him.
Join.
That's fine.
But they've got the Aphotic Shield.
Look at the positioning though of Team Spirit. You see this Bane just sat behind the Queen of Pain, ready to like help out if needed, right? And the other pairing, the Pango sat with the Dark the Pango sat with the Gyrocopter in the bot lane. They're like playing in pairs, right? And then you have this really difficult to kill hero by itself in the Dark Willow. It's like being ultra efficient on the map, and FNATIC are doing something similar where the Abba's sat behind the cores that's always most at risk, right? You kind of want to be matching the Bane's rotations on the Abba if you can.
Is under attack.
Just so wherever he goes, you're always there to cancel grip.
Maposhka 2-0-4, speaking about Fiend's Grip.
Dire's bottom tower.
Yeah, especially against Lycan as well. That's quite
Yeah.
impressive. I mean, FNATIC only have 2 kills, right? So they're not having the best of games at the moment. They're keeping up, though. You know, this Deuce is still farming, and they do struggle to kill the Deuce later on in the game. I think the big thing's going to be the Pango with the disarm. It's going to be incredibly key.
Right now, Pango working with the Diffusal Blade and Arcane Boots. They're going to go to the call down. Collapse has been called. They've got the lasso, Twin. Pop that BKB, he'll lasso up Collapse, and now Maposhka kind of caught out. Will he die for the first time? He's surrounded by 3 heroes who will focus their attention onto the Bane for a second. The Flat Cannon putting a little bit of damage, and Raven comes in with Mystic Snake, and oh, this is a problem for Yatoro, who you lose that Aegis, and I don't think he's got much health. Raven right on top of him, and they're going to try and get this kill before he's able to TP away, and they will do so. DJ getting credit for that. The 3 heroes are dead on the side of Team Spirit. FNATIC coming out ahead.
Yeah, great fight for FNATIC. That Deucer timing on the Skadi really completely changes the cards of the game, right? Because all of a sudden the Gyrocopter can't run away from the Deucer, and the Gyro can't really just sit and fight 1v1 against the Deucer either. So you're stuck in this really weird scenario. I think Pango getting caught first is probably the worst thing that can happen for Team Spirit as well. Like, they need his team fight, they need the control, and like we said, he's the most important hero against the Deucer with the disarms as well. So if the Pango dies first, the Deucer's just going to take over.
As you see, we had the Deucer take over there, Twin. Little TP out. No BKB needed.
This Deucer looks absolutely terrifying now.
Do we get Ags maybe soon on Death at some point? I'm very anxious to see the half snake. Ooh.
I think he's trying to kill the Black Dragon.
Okay. Well, Sonic Wave's now on cooldown for a little while.
200 gold, though. Easy.
Value, yeah. Yeah, like I was saying, I'm really hoping to see that half snake, half wolf.
I know, because I think it makes you melee, right?
Half,
if you turn someone into a wolf, it makes them melee for me. You don't want to do that to Deucer, so I really doubt that Lycan's going to go Ags.
Okay.
Unfortunately. Otherwise, we could have had another hybrid. And there's a DD. Oh, Jab's just going to snatch it.
You get these chimeras that start coming out.
I don't know that
the only reason I know chimeras, it's usually I'm crying after I see the only one I know.
So he almost has Daedalus on the Gyrocopter. So hopefully that will help with their damage output. I mean, you can see in the last fight, as soon as the Gyro's just by himself, he does do a decent amount of damage, but it's not really enough in its own regard.
Right.
Like you were saying, you need the Pango alive.
And he's just about finished this Daedalus on the Gyro. He's 200 gold away from that. And he's going Satanic Scotty. We'll see what order he does want to go for that for.
Yeah, I think you get the Satanic first. Oh, hang on, they've caught somebody here.
It's cost Collapse, but he's got the Swashbuckle.
Yeah, I was wondering whether Halberd might have been okay on Collapse this game as well, because the effect's obviously really good with the Deucer. But also the status resistance against the Lasso is really strong, and it feels like that's his biggest problem here, right?
Yeah, that's led to his death a couple times already, so...
I mean, the Lotus Orb's obviously really good. You know, we've seen a lot of Lotus this tournament. But yeah, I'm just wondering what they could have, potentially done different.
Or even just stepping up, and he's going for the mid-tier 1.
Is that a
he's
Axe
just
on the
about,
Deucer
yeah.
soon?
200 gold until he's got that Ags, and he'll clean up a creep wave, and now he's got it.
Interesting. So not going for that damage item with the Daedalus or the Butterfly or anything, just going straight for the Axe instead. I think something that happened a lot in SEA, right? This Axe. I mean, when you were casting DPC, I'm sure you were probably fed up of this.
top lane, and they're gonna pop the BKB. Chuen.
Oh, the
Lotus.
Lotus.
But the Lotus Orb now collapsed, trying to help get this kill onto the Batrider, and they've got the damage. Naturo turns it. He's got that Daedalus just finished off. They get the kill there onto the bat, and they might even look for a +1 on DJ. He pops the borrowed time, but they've got the Nightmare into the Bramble Maze, and he is surrounded and very dead.
Yeah, a great couple of pickoffs. I mean, that's the Lotus though from Collapse, so you can see exactly what it does there against the Lasso. And it's funny that the Lasso lasts longer on the Batrider himself because the Gyro has S and Y. Yeah, great rotations from Team Spirit. They found a good couple of pickoffs. And this Batrider's game, he is really struggling. I mean, obviously it comes down to that laning stage at the start of the game, but
Dire's top tower.
He's struggling, but it seems like he's kind of taking over the role of a 3, whereas Death is taking over more farm priority, kind of getting that 2 priority farm. Because if you look at Collapse and Chuen, they're kind of close in net worth. So I guess I'm just pulling it.
they are, but
Straws
both
here
these,
and hoping for something.
like both these heroes aren't really damage dealers, right? Which is okay because they have a Deucer as their 1. So they have these basically like a kind of like 2 position 3s. They're both playing like 2.5 in that sense, but are trying to enable the Deucer to do damage and be able to like live long enough in the team fight to be able to 1 versus 5 effectively. But this is the thing, I worry with the Ags that they're going to lack that damage output a little bit. It is a good item, but yeah. Playing Blink as well next. Wow. I mean, the big question for Spirit is, with this 8k lead, it's great and everything, but can they deal with the Deucer still? I honestly don't know the answer.
Yeah, the one fight that they took that was in that dire triangle, it was a bit of a struggle, but of course we talked about the fact that Collapse was the one who got caught first. He's now got that Blink Dagger, so we'll see if it's as easy to catch him, because he'll be going into the Rolling Thunder outside of the fight most likely and blinking in to disrupt the engagement that does inevitably happen. And that might happen near Roche, because there's only 50 seconds until we've got that second Roche coming up. Aposhka.
It's going to be a big moment in the game as well.
Flame Break. Ooh.
Okay, good
Nora's
pick off.
looking for the Flame Break. Doesn't land it, but he still has the lasso. Aposhka surviving for now. The Lotus Orb is there. This is actually putting DJ in a little bit of a precarious position, as the brambles were around him, but again, he knows how to navigate the maze.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, good pick off. I think the Bane's, you know, we've talked about how much Promoshka can do in these fights, but I think the Bane, probably the Willow and the Pango are the big 2, but the Bane's like always a nice kill, right? Because it's so easy to kill the Bane in comparison to how much it can do in fights.
Refusal on Death from Collapse, and that puts Death into the Shapeshift.
Yeah, which is a bit worrying considering the Roche is up as well, right?
Toronto Tokyo going after the Batrider. Sonic Wave with the Shadow Strike. He's been disrupted, and we'll see if that's enough to save him. They've got that Mist Coil as well as the Aphotic Shield, so they do get the save there on the Batrider, and that'll put Sonic Wave on cooldown for another 2 minutes.
Yeah, good attempt though from Toronto Tokyo. I mean, they have no Shapeshift, the other team has no Sonic Wave now, right? So I think Team Spirit is still going to be happy to just walk into the pit here. No? Okay.
Smoking up and looking to make a move here into the jungle to go after FNATIC. Meanwhile, they've got this Medusa kind of locked up. They'll jump in, they look at Jabs, they've got the damage to get the kill into Jabs and taking the Shadow Team in, and now they're around on a Raven.
Isolated.
And that's going to be the fear as well as the control that they need to maybe get the kill on a Raven. No more mana, no more health, and no more life.
No buyback either.
The Medusa, no buyback. DJ follows.
Is under attack.
And that's 3 dead on FNATIC. It looked like, man, they singled out Raven quite well.
I didn't see the start of the fight, like the positioning of all the heroes, but I mean, that Deucer just in absolute no man's land by herself. Big problem. Like, the supports can't get within touching distance to help her. And we've talked about how good FNATIC have been this game, about having the Deucer up front and then this, like, supporting line just behind her, ready to go, ever since the start of the game. One mistake and Spirit are going to punish you massively now. Because this is 2 sets of racks and then probably a Roche as well for Spirit, so it's going to get up to like a 20k net worth advantage.
Wow. And they just break the door wide open. Raven caught all by himself in that mid lane.
The thing as well, though, it's not just Raven. Like, they popped the shapeshift before the fight started, before Jabs got destroyed straight away by Toronto Tokyo jumping the backline, which was a fantastic play. You know, the Rolling Thunder coming through from Collapse to zone out the Abaddon as well. So many little different things going on. It's such a split fight.
Yeah, because it left Raven by himself in the mid lane, like forward, while the rest of the team was getting chased by where the tier 2 tower stands in that camp over to the left.
Mm-hmm. Is that a
Roche is
satanic
getting
on...
low. I just don't
Oh
think
my
they're going to
God.
make it in time. And yeah, Toronto Tokyo does have a satanic.
Which is terrifying. Who took the shard? The Willow already had one.
I gotta
the
assume the Pango.
Yeah, okay. I mean, obviously...
Oh, no. Maybe Quap. Yeah.
The Quap shard's the AoE, right? With the blink.
The blink,
It's
yeah.
pretty good.
The sonic boom.
You have to scream boom every time you blink him.
Ooh. Is that like when you're obligated to scream Starfall when you play Mirana?
Yeah, I think so. The problem is if we scream boom every time she went in, it would sound like boo, and it would, yeah, then we'd be biased casters. So
Toxic casters saying boo
we
at
can't do
Toronto
that.
Tokyo? Yeah. I can already see the thread. +1.
Titan Sliver for the gyrocopter as well. Obviously stacking up status resist with the SNY. He's going to become incredibly hard to kill. Because like we said, the status resist is really good against the lasso, but it's the stone gaze as well. It's the purge from the Shadow Demon. We see DJ.
Yeah, they're gonna spot him. They've got the silence through that courier rushing over the side of Team Spirit. They get the borrowed time popped, and now DJ needs to start to run.
Taking so much damage from the flak while he's running away.
Dire's bottom
Raven,
tower is under attack.
250 gold away from finishing off a Daedalus of his own. He hasn't exactly had that opportunity to kind of fight on his own terms. It's always been led by Team Spirit, and that's what they're doing right. They're making FNATIC fight when and where they want to.
They want this helm creep again.
You hurt the ones you love.
Team Spirit. They're really showing up today. Because I agree with Theban's point on the panel that he made before, that I feel these two teams are so similar, like, levels at the moment. And this is like the opportunity for one of them to really push forward and show that they're a level ahead, right, almost. And Spirit, they haven't put much wrong this game. They've played really well.
And I think the one thing that they did wrong was more FNATIC doing something right and grabbing Collapse out. And that was the fight over in the Dire Triangle. And that was the only time where it felt like Team Spirit have lost a fight.
I mean, their laning stage went so well, though, right? It's the big thing. And there's a gem on the Pangolier now as well, so they're going to start to really shut out the map here. FNATIC basically just kept to their base.
21,000 net worth lead, and Team Spirit playing, like I said, on their own terms, waiting to make a move here and fight FNATIC and finish off the game if they can. Gwen's going to step up, and they've got the blink into the shield crash. They'll pop the BKB. Blink forward from Toronto Tokyo to take the top range racks. Pop the Lincolns with the Mystic Snake, and they could just blink out.
It's so low committal, right? They don't really have to pop anything. And they force the battle with a BKB, so they can look to just go again here. And you have to imagine, yeah, they want to probably try and hang around this bot lane a lot more. Let the other lanes just shove in by themselves naturally.
Start to push in bottom. They've got, of course, the flak cannon and every bit of damage coming in from Yatro. He's going Ag's Blessing and then a Butterfly.
Right, okay.
Staying forward with the Lotus Orb, and Toronto Tokyo blinking in. He's got that Bloodthorn. They'll get the lasso out, and that's onto the Pangolier, but they get the kill on Death, and he's going to buy back. They'll look, though, and get the kill on a Collapse. They've killed off the Lycan. They've already used the Stone Gaze. Raven He's stuck in these brambles, can't exactly navigate a maze that's surrounding you, and, well, they get the kill on a collapse. They've taken the tier 3 bottom, and Team Spirit bail for a second.
Was that a solo kill by Toronto Tokyo? I mean, it was slightly off camera,
yeah.
but... I mean, that's absurd. With the Bloodthorn and the Shivas. I mean, even with the Satanic, this guy does so much damage, actually. Because I'm assuming Lycan doesn't have BKB either.
Again, just trying to fight this. Raven doesn't have Stone Gaze to work with.
He doesn't care about the
coming
DOTA.
in, and now Toronto Tokyo getting right-clicked pretty hard. Raven trying to output as much damage as he can. They're going to go to the shapeshift. Look over Yatoro. Yatoro running back and eating a lot of this damage.
Oh, the Aegis is gone.
Just as it expires, they get the kill on Yatoro. They'll take him out for 93 seconds. Twin trying to find a lasso, and they have gotten on top of Maposhka, who trying to TP away. Great terrorize to save the Bane. And they at least kill the Gyro, successfully holding that bottom set of racks.
Oh, no.
The timings are perfect from FNATIC on that hold. They're coming back around, though. Is the hold enough? Borrowed time gets popped, Yules up into the air. Another Bramble Maze lay it down. DJ, oh, he'll survive for a little bit longer with Jabs getting that disruption. DJ,
the Deuce is behind.
Now the Medusa behind them. The blink away. They've got the silence. The Curse Crown lands and suns up this Lycan as well as the Medusa, but they got the lasso on a Toronto Tokyo and the kill. Oh my, FNATIC. Right back into it.
I don't really understand why Spirit is sticking around, though, when the Gyro's died, right? Maybe they just... I just don't respect the amount of damage that FNATIC can output if given the chance, but... I feel like as soon as your Gyro dies, just bail, right?
You'd think so, and... Wow, Raven now coming over looking at collapse.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
He'll bounce around as he's gonna roll up.
He's
I
in
don't know
trouble.
if that helps him. Lotus Sword bouncing the Mystic Snake and Raven becoming a one-man army.
All the cores just dying one by one, not respecting the the damage that FNATIC have and the potential they have to get out on the map. And you know, we've just been praising Spirit about how well they've been doing this game and how they haven't put a foot wrong really the whole time. Maybe
All
a
of a
bit
sudden,
of a curse.
yeah, 7,000 net worth drained out of that lead from Team Spirit. Raven, he's going for that Swift Blink. Jabs picks up the Ags. That's going to be a lot of damage coming in with the Demonic Purge. It's only level 2 right now. He's only level 16. But FNATIC, they're back in this game. And it's a tough spot to come back in and win this game. But what's that voice line? Winnable, winnable? Certainly feels like it. Yatoro.
It's, again, you've got to be careful here. It's still 3 versus 5.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
I mean, the sad thing for FNATIC is obviously they've just lost the Aegis on Spirit, so if there's no Roche for them to walk into and take. But this Deuce is incredibly hard to kill still. With the extra utility of the Lycan buffing her up. Nice purge on the Witchbane for the Deucer. Up against the Willow in particular. Going to be really strong.
Haven't exactly seen this Witchbane be utilized in too many games. And they're going to rip right through that tier 2 tower. And now they've got the lasso, but they're stuck with the Fiend's Grip coming out from Maposhka. Glenn is dead. They take out the Bat Rider, and now they need to kind of turn around. They've already used the Stone Gaze, but they're going to try and chase. Toronto Tokyo going in and gets the silence out on it. Both Jabs as well as DJ. Lincoln's getting popped across the board. They've got the homing missile coming through as well as the Terrorize. That's going to land on the Medusa, sending him back over mid. Raven, he's not got a lot of mana, but finally the Mystic Snake comes back and puts him back up to full.
Oh,
they've got the Nightmare for a second. Raven trying to fight, but they've got themselves the Venom right on top of this Medusa. They get the kill on the Jabs. They'll take out the Shadow Team, and the Rocket Barrage right on top of Raven will finish him off. He doesn't have buyback. Down goes DJ with Jabs. And that all starts on a lasso gone wrong as Maposhka was ready with the Fiend's Grip.
Oh, I was wondering if it was a Lotus or whatnot, but yeah. If it's the Fiend's Grip, really well played by Maposhka. I mean, I understand that play by the Batrider, though. Like, you want to try and force the fight before the Pan goes back up again, right? Like, this whole 4 versus 5 thing that we were talking a lot about yesterday.
Medusa gets buyback, DJ gets buyback. This is looking like it's at least Megas, but they do have the Glyph. We'll go back onto the high ground, and there's the Mega Creeps confirmed.
Yeah, they're gonna wait, go back for the third Rosh, you'd imagine, and then look to try and end the game. Just gonna play it ever so slowly. No reason to force it.
Timeless Relic picked up there for Team
pretty-
Spirit.
And he's gonna keep it, but I mean, it's pretty good on the Willow as well. Like, depends what other items they get here. And he does pass it over.
Minute 43 till that Roche is up. So it does give an opportunity for maybe FNATIC to collect themselves a little bit. Abaddon going into the Ags, and he'll have that upgrade on the borrowed time, and at least to try and keep his team alive a little bit longer.
Did Spirit just drop a gem in the pit? Just to see when Roche spawned? That's really cool. Okay. Because obviously you can't see in the Roche pit anymore with like couriers and stuff, right? So... Maybe that's happened before and I just haven't seen it. But...
Link forward, and now they've got the Scream. They're going to go after DJ, taking so much damage from Yatoro. Duels up into the air. Raven thinking about going in. They've got the help from Jab. They'll get the disruption. That's through on a DJ. Now the call down. Raven, he's kind of in this. The Sonic Wave comes through. DJ still surviving for the moment, but he's going to be killed off by Collapse.
Oh, this dude's just...
He's in with the Rolling
again,
Thunder,
isolated.
and Raven out of position. This is a big problem, but they've got the Demonic Purge. They'll get the last one to Yatoro. Yatoro trying to survive. There's the Lotus over the Vandal, right on top of Raven. He just fought back. He's gone. Mira gets the kill. They'll call GG.
What's up?
And Spirit will lock up game number 1.
I didn't see whose Lotus that was, but if that was Collapse, so he was just controlling this Doozer the whole fight and got the Lotus off on the Gyrocopter to save from the lasso. So, I mean, Collapse, really well played on the Pango. We talked about him a little bit before the game, but yeah, really strong performance. And I think Spirit, they'll look at their laning stages obviously being the big thing here that, you know, got them through this game. So, yeah. I think FNATIC, little bits to work on here. I mean, the